tech giant Microsoft has announced that it will be cutting about 6,000 jobs across all levels, teams, and geographies as it looks to slash unnecessary layers of management amid a boom in artificial intelligence.
What are the few roles that's no longer going to be existing next 2 years?
That model can actually control your computer.
Is that the new zeros and ones for AI?
And these are the things that every human should know now, like even the kids, like everyone.
To build an agent, what are the tools currently available?
What I realized in my life, the 6 things are very important for having a really good life.
There is a business idea there,
Right? That's a business idea. I'm giving you like 3 business idea, right?
That's nice.
We have built some really advanced AI agents that now companies are using to.
Are you someone who is relevant to this workforce? Do you want to break into the Gen AI space? Wondering how to build an army of agents that work for you and make money for you and still doesn't know where you want to start? On today's nlsa podcast, we're joined with Yadwinder Sharma, a Gen AI expert and founder of agentic solution nimble.ai, who's helping to shape the future of agentic application in testing. We break down how anyone, even without a tech background, can start building AI agents, launch AI-driven business, and stay relevant to the new economy. Let's welcome Yogi. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Anu. Thank you for having me here.
I know well about you, but I would like to introduce you to our audience rather than me saying you
Sure.
have a better and extensive knowledge.
Yeah.
And I would like to bring that to our audience.
My name is Yogi. My real name is Yadwinder Sharma, but everyone calls me Yogi.
All right.
It was easier for people to call me Yogi instead of Yadwinder because everyone used to say different names. I'm a test professional. I'm very proud of that. I believe in having a really good quality of everything, quality of software, quality of life, and that has become my passion of my life and helping organization improving that quality, right? So in 2019, formed this company called Nimble with the goal of building really advanced software testing solutions. And here we are that we have built some really advanced AI agents that now companies are using to get their feedback on their software really quickly and efficiently. Yeah.
Interesting. So you've been wearing multiple hats. You've been a migrant. You've been a test engineer. You've been a founder. Now, I'm curious to know that it's been now become one of the top 10 startups in agentic solution for testing.
Yeah.
So how do you feel this change happening in the world, your life, and the technologies as well?
Yeah, that was quite surprising for me as well. One day you woke up and you're just doing some research and say, okay, what are the top 10 companies that ChatGPT is interested in? And suddenly you see yourself in the name. Initially I thought like, oh, is it hallucinating? Like, how does it know? Right? And that was quite surprising because you don't get the same answers in Google because of the algorithm that's different. And a lot of that came about that how we were pushing our messaging through different channels, especially now LinkedIn. It seemed like ChatGPT has access to all the LinkedIn content. So because we have been pushing a lot of content around videos and customer stories that must have been picked up and got us into the list. But again, that's very temporary. It comes every now and then. Sometimes it disappears. But yeah, overall, the experience has been amazing being in New Zealand as an immigrant, but then having that exposure of Kiwi innovation, how people think in New Zealand about a problem and how solving it in a very, very genuine way instead of very like bossy way. So I always kept those values in place and then slowly kept on thinking, okay, where it can head and kept using technology to get to the point where we are right now.
So you've been in the AI agentic world from quite a few years now.
Yeah.
I want to know what was your first project.
So we built this platform called Nimble Tree. And the problem we thought we'll solve with that there are a lot of company, even the big company, they don't do their test management properly, right? So we thought we will build a SaaS platform and we'll make it free for any company for 4 projects, right? So we put it out there, say, look, you can come there, you can create your projects, requirements, test cases, you can manually execute those test cases for free. And what we saw, we had a lot of signups, maybe around since we launched, say in January last year, and then within a couple of months, we have around 100 signups from different companies around the world, right? Some really major company from Europe, US, Yeah, but we saw people were loading the test case, but there's no action. We so where's the engagement, even though we're giving it for free? And then we had this AI came in, ChatGPT came in, and then there was an opportunity. Okay, maybe we need to give something extra to people so that even if you're giving it for free, but maybe you need to give something extra so that people
Value.
can see more value, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing we introduced was the concept of test generation. So you put the objective of the test and you click a button, it'll just load the test case. For example, an example is, say you want to create test case for payments.
Yeah.
All the scenarios for payments, right? So in old days, you'll need to find a person who is a payment testing expert. He would come up with all the negative invalid card, valid card, rejected payments, declined payments. But now you just say, I want all the payment test cases. You push a button and
It notifies.
it identifies, load all the possible scenarios, and you save it, and then you can ask your business person, hey, can you execute this scenario? And then here you go, right?
Oh, awesome.
So we loaded that feature as a first thing.
Yeah.
And that got really good attention. People were really amazed. Oh,
Yeah.
But on the back of mind, they say, okay, this is actually calling ChatGPT. This is a wrapper you're calling. And we're like, yeah, that's fine. But we're also giving a platform which you can persist those things.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing we launched. But since then, the AI evolved, and then we had this feature of summarization. Like, can you take the customer feedback or user feedback and summarize into really concise way? That's another big problem in the industry.
Oh yeah.
So those are the two major features. And then 6 to 8 months ago, agentic solutions came into place, right? So OpenAI launched a computer use, Anthropic computer use model, then browser use came. And they were like, now this is completely another level, right? Now we need to bring customers to a point where not only it'll generate content or summarize content for you, but it'll actually do the execution for you. Could you actually feed a website and it'll crawl your whole website and give you a 10-page report in 2 minutes?
Yeah.
So that's something we started thinking, and now we're at a point that is possible now. Now our customers are using it and they're getting amazing value
No, that's
out of
awesome.
it now.
AI agents been a hot topic from last couple of months, and every big MNCs are building their own agentic solutions to play with, as well as playgrounds that you can build multiple agents, right?
Yeah.
Someone with no coding background, like no knowledge at all about IT or computing, how they can come up with an idea or build AI agents with the whatever currently available. Can be free, as well as there are paid options, but we'll focus on the free options.
Free options, yeah. So I would highly suggest to start with the Salesforce Agent Force tools. What Salesforce has done, they have created a learning platform called Trailhead. So anyone in the world can sign up on Trailhead. Even my daughter, who's 10 years old, she has signed up Trailhead and completed some trails. So you can sign up on a Trailhead and start a trail of becoming agent blazer. So there's a trail called Agent Blazer. So when you do that, it'll start from very basics. It'll start with the what is AI, what is generative AI, how to design prompts, what are different prompt templates, concept of prompt templates, right? Guardrails, safety, about data, everything. At the end of it, it'll ask you to connect to a playground where you can just connect to the player. It'll give you an environment with a proper website, and the website is a website called Carol Resorts. So they have created like a simulator business where they have loaded all the different experience like yoga classes, gym classes, and all that stuff, right? So in that exercise, what you ended up building a chatbot, AI chatbot as a service agent for that company, right?
Okay.
That's your assignment in that, and it's totally free. So what you end up building is as a service agent for that company, where any customer could go and say, hey, I want to know about all the experience events that are happening tomorrow, for example. And so it'll ask you, can I get your details? So you'll give your details, and then based on what you give, it'll call the backend functions, like using function calling and all that stuff. Then give you all the information then that you can book. So that's a pretty good experience. Totally free. You can do it on your free time, but at the end of the day, you'll be able to build like a service agent yourself on actually a very real platform.
Oh yeah.
That'll give you the confidence that, and also you can see the value out of it.
It can be a production ready product as well.
It could be, it'll give you enough insight, because the thing is, when you build an agent, there are a lot of backend functions you have to call and consume. So in this exercise, those functions are already built.
Getting the foundation.
Yeah. But if you have to build a production ready, you have to build the backend functions first, and then you have to do the LLM integration so that based on the customer input, it can do the function calling and get you the output. So making it production ready gonna take time. I would say everyone to just start with that. Have a bit of see what are the different components like topics or actions in Salesforce. Because once you have that an idea, then you can see, okay, how would I build it using open source technologies? Or the Python backend and stuff. Then go deep into that. But I think that's within, I think, in a day you will have pretty good understanding how a real life project would look like.
Agents. Can you talk about what is prompt engineering? Why is it important? Why everyone should learn regardless of their job stream?
It is important because that's a language that you need to talk to LLMs. If you go to ChatGPT and
When you say LLM, it's AI, right?
AI, yeah, like ChatGPTs or Claude,
Yeah.
or any LLM. So if you go to these applications and write me an article on, say, software testing, it can just give you some random stuff, like, because it doesn't know what exactly you
Can
want, right?
hallucinate, it can
hallucinate
deviate from the topic.
Yeah, exactly. But if you be very specific, if you go to ChatGPT that you are a blog writer for a software product company that is building an AI agent for testing, right? So you first set the context, who you are, what role do you have to play, right? That's the very first thing you want to add it in your prompt.
Is that the new zeros and ones for AI?
Yeah, exactly. So you want to tell what your role is. You want to tell AI, this is the role I want you to play. And then you tell who you are. I'm the person who is writing this blog to promote my product so people can buy. Right. And then you have to tell what sort of context or style that have to use. So you then tell this blog is being written for LinkedIn audience, or it could be written for X audience, or this could be written for Instagram audience, like all those things. And then you could tell them the number of words as well. That's very important. So every platform encourage different like number of words. So for LinkedIn, you should have specific format. For your website blog articles, you should have longer formats, right? So you give those formats, and then and then you see the quality of the content that will generate for you will be completely like out of the way than you had from the first prompt.
Oh, interesting. So
that is very important.
So you define a role, and you define a task, then you give an example. This is what you want. And then you set the boundaries for what it requires. And that's a prompt we should be, rather than asking, can you write me a blog on
correct. Yeah. And these are the things that every human should know now, like even the kids, like everyone gets to vote.
It's basically communicating to AIs in a simplified way, so that AI can understand what we are really requiring.
Exactly. Otherwise, you can end up wasting a lot of time.
Cool.
Now, so this is a concept of prompt, but the second concept is prompt template.
Okay.
Now you've written this prompt, right? And imagine you're creating a blog. I give you an example. You're creating a blog, and the different inputs for that a blog could be, for example, your website, your LinkedIn, your X, and all that stuff, right?
Like reusabilities.
Yeah. Now imagine you could parameterize all those values, right? That's what's called prompt template.
So again, it goes like the role that they have to play. You're gonna define, like you set a variable. You set a variable, what you're gonna play with. Then you define a task, which that parameters, variable parameters been in that. Again, so you can reuse again.
Reuse it.
Oh, that's
now
really
take that prompt template and configure it in your serverless function. And put an interface on top of it, right? And
which you can build on AI again, right?
Correct. And then you say, hey, now I'm going to launch an app where you can write content for different platforms.
There is a business idea there.
Right? That's a business idea. I'm giving you like free business idea, right?
That's nice.
So that's how it works now. That's why it has become so powerful that it is an opportunity for everyone to spin up like any product. In a very
like you can create a social media content creator. That's become, so that is an agent now. That can take the roles of the current content market, like content generators as a human being. But that's really amazing. You don't have to rely on any inputs or the quality of content. Everything can be defined now, right?
Correct.
That's really
parameterized.
To build an agents, what are the tools currently available? For next 5 years, what will be dominating the market and people can learn?
So I think the first thing is is to think about what an AI agent is, like a very, very easy definition, right?
Yeah.
So AI agent is a sort of program that can take some independent decisions and create its own path based on where it is going, right? So and the second concept, the AI workflow, where you give it like you do this and it does it. But AI agent is more advanced. It needs more.
Have its own thought process.
Yeah, it has its own reasoning thought process to go about it, right? In the industry, they are in enterprise space. Um, Salesforce has agent force. You can build agents, like as I said, like people can learn from that. But if you're not playing in enterprise space and you don't want to go close to that license, then there are tools like AnyQuest. It's a low code um, platform to build agents. You can
Anything.
AnyQuest,
Any-
N18.
Yeah.
Is
Any
it
question? Is it like a separate tool?
Yeah, it's a separate tool.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's like a drag and drop.
Okay,
You
it's
can
like,
build an
okay.
agent, right?
I've seen N8 and similar things does it, and I
Yeah.
think LangChain.
LangChain has launched a LangGraph platform.
LangGraph, yes.
But that's also a paid subscription. But if you don't want to,
Is it an open? LangChain is open source, right?
LangChain is open source,
But
but
LangChain.
LangGraph platform is a paid version of it because that'll you can do low code and configure those agents.
And N8 comes in open source. Sorry to block in
Yeah,
between.
yeah.
N8 comes as well. Like it's an open source. You can build, like install it locally, and it
Yeah.
can build agents. They can start learning from there as well.
Yes, yeah.
That's good. And what was the other one you're talking about?
AnyQuest.
AnyQuest.
AnyQuest is also a web-based platform. You can buy a subscription from them, and you can deploy AnyQuest platform in your own cloud or in your own premises as well.
Yeah. Okay.
And have all the functions. Basically, you can create all type of agents. You can expose your agents as an API as well.
Oh, that's like,
Yeah.
is it related to MCP or is it like a MCP server?
No, it's not MCP server. It's
not.
literally a no code agent development platform. Yeah, but now we are at a completely different phase where we have agents that can do any transaction as well, right? You could just tell it, go to a stock trading website and buy a stock for me. It can do it for you.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things that we are doing. One of our customers, we are doing a trial with. They are this company called equity.com. So they have built a stock and crypto trading platform based in Auckland. They are using our agents to monitor their production website. So every hour, our agents go into their website and buy a stock using a paper trading account, and send them notification that the process is working.
That's interesting.
So that is a use case. That's an example of a use case that you build an agent, but who's gonna pay you money for that?
Find the problem first.
Find the problem first, right?
Okay. Find the problem, then you build a solution.
Yeah, then you build a solution.
It's not about the solution that you're building or something that you're building.
Correct.
It's about the problem that you're
Correct.
solving always.
Correct.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And also, I would like to mention, I'm a big AWS fanboy. That's why I would say, there is something called Amazon Bedrock agents.
Yeah.
Bedrock agents also will play like you very like 0 to none. I would say you are not gonna pay anything. Oh, I won't say anything. Will be very little amount that you can start playing with, and it is also really useful.
Yeah, we have tried Bedrock. I'll give you an example on the Bedrock. Actually did a presentation in Amazon office in front of like quite a few tech leaders from a leading bank in New Zealand. And what we presented to them is a scenario of a computer use model. So Anthropic has computer use model.
What's that mean?
So what that means is that model can actually control your computer.
Oh, okay.
We had a VM in which we pointed Anthropic computer use model, and we asked it to go to this website and tell us if you can open all the web pages on that website, and if you can, then the test pass. Otherwise, it doesn't pass, right? So what it did, it went into the VM, it found the Firefox browser, clicked on the Firefox browser, opened the Firefox browser, and then opened that website, and then we're able to go to all the web pages and then confirm that the test case is done.
Okay.
So now imagine
It's not a wrapper, it's built into Anthropic itself.
Anthropic, yeah. Anthropic computer use model. Now, if you are a AWS customer, because that model is available into Amazon Bedrock, it means you can do any RPA process for your organization.
What is RPA process?
A robotic process automation.
Okay.
Right? Any robotic process automation that could be go into your finance system and approve timesheets or invoices and stuff, right? Imagine it is now possible. If you have Amazon Bedrock, because Amazon has Anthropic computer use model, and all your applications are sitting in your AWS as well, it means from today itself, you can start using the computer use model and start doing all the transaction that your staff is doing repeatedly again and
Can
again.
someone build an agent of themselves, sit in front of a computer, instead of them doing the job, the agent can do the job?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's kidding. I just following the like so,
Yeah.
but it is possible scenarios which we think about it, right?
Yeah.
Like when you think about how the world is evolving.
Yeah.
So all these thought process, all these humanly what do you call labor force required jobs are now getting automated with agents.
Yes.
The only thing you can resist however you want, right? This is why I'm just saying my thought. Like when 1990s when internet come, there was a big hesitate to jump into internet and start using. What happened now, right?
Yeah.
And
It's
look
like-
about Uber. Uber is also having everyone, like there was a big protest on Uber, like why Uber is available. No one should be using it. It's gonna kill everything. What happened now? I would say this is a revolution, I believe.
Yeah, it created a gig economy. Like what like it gave opportunity people who didn't have jobs to get a driving license and start making money. So it actually sort of reduced unemployment. It gave people more opportunity to create wealth, and I think AI is going to do the same thing.
It's a new change.
It's a new change. Yeah.
Yourself is a leader.
Yeah.
What do you think in next 5 years leaders should be focusing in?
Yeah.
What are some strategies they should be adopting in?
Yeah. See, for any business, the main objective of the business is to give shareholders a value. And you can give shareholder value of business by doing two things, by either by growing the business really, really fast, or by reducing the cost, by making your business operation really efficient. So now if you think about these two things, AI is going to play a massive, massive role now, right? So for the growth, you're gonna need like your sales agent, marketing agents, AI agents that can go globally, like within like a week, it can actually scale your message to the whole world without any manual intervention. So, and in the operations side, like all this GitHub Copilot will reduce your development cost and delivery cost and make you speed. So any leader who doesn't have that mindset at the moment is going to fall behind the competition, and they won't even realize when they'll run out of business. So it's imperative for all the business leaders to start thinking about these two things: shareholder value, how can they reduce cost in their current operations and delivery, and how they can use AI to grow their business faster, right? So I would say for all of them to start thinking about all the agents that need for service agents and sale agents. So you sort these two agents and you're through. You can beat your competition really
That's
easily.
interesting. That's
Yeah, and then if you are working in enterprise space, jump on Salesforce or enterprise agentic solutions. If you're in the startup phase or the non-enterprise space, then you can focus on another agentic solution. But overall, underlying the technology, one programming language I really recommend is Python.
Mm-hmm.
So Python, you gotta have that capability
Even for
into your
leaders?
organizations,
Oh, even like
even for enterprises.
okay.
Enterprises, startups, it's all Python based. The word that's coming in. Yeah.
Right. We talked about strategies and
Yeah.
future focus.
Yeah.
To be there, they should be having some level of knowledge to foresee that future, right?
Correct.
So
Yeah.
what kind of knowledge they should be acquiring to make those decisions?
Yeah. So I would say now all the product companies are building their own academy. Like OpenAI launched their own academy, OpenAI Academy.
Mhm.
I would say all leaders to go jump in that and complete all the trainings they have provided. Amazon has their own training programs. Salesforce has their own training programs, right? And if they are not enough, then you talk to some local people, consultants around you. Say, look, this is my business problem. It's quite messy, and be very honest about it, because there's no point in sitting on the problems anymore, right? Because the world is changing so fast. By the time you need to change right now. You don't have time left. So you should call out on LinkedIn, guys, I have like really serious problems in sales, marketing, and services. I'm happy to talk to anybody who can come and give me a solution. And then you should just open about like meeting people, having these kind of conversations, and then and actually creating a budget for this investment. right? Sometimes we keep thinking, oh, the market is bad. I can't take out that money to do that investment on AI. I'll think about it next year. But by that year, you might be completely gone out of the business.
True,
right?
true.
So
Relevance is not at all.
relevance is not there anymore. One day you come to us, say, okay, now my consulting business doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
right?
understood.
So the investment for leaders being very pedantic and disciplined about how they budget next financial year is, I think, very important.
And it makes me think it's gonna be jeopardizing or putting a lot of jobs in danger, right?
Yes.
So what are the few roles that's no longer gonna be exist in next 2 years? And everyone should start pivoting or start learning
Yeah.
something new on those roles.
Yeah, I think service agents will be the first job to go. So companies.
When you can elaborate what is
So
is it
say
like
so
call centers?
Yeah, call centers. So you are running a call center of 500 people to serve a bank or an insurance company or an e-commerce website where people call and say, "Hey, I ordered this thing, but I haven't received it yet." And you say, "Okay, let me go and check in my system." Where your thing is, oh, actually, someone came to your home, but they couldn't deliver, so I had to go back. So all these things where there's a human interaction, your advanced AI chatbots, service agents chatbots will be able to take care instantly. So what I'm saying the service agent roles won't disappear completely, but you can imagine if you're running an organization with 500 service agents, you might need 100 service agents, and 400 service agents works being taken care by service agents. And then when they can't answer something, when a customer say, no, I really want to talk to a human, then the AI agent will hand it off to the human agent, and then your customer will still be happy. But any customer who is very tech savvy, like especially young people, right? So I was listening to Sam Altman the other day, said that the way young kids are using ChatGPT, they're like becoming their life coach. Like anything they do, they first go to ChatGPT and ask that, right?
Yeah.
Though imagine those young generation becoming your customers in the future.
Yeah.
They're so used to of talking to AI that they don't even need to talk to human service agents, right? So that's where the word is going. So that I think
Anything related to a front door service, it's gonna be obsolete.
yeah, I think so. I'm not completely absolute, but
there are gonna be a lot of job cuts.
yeah, a lot of job cuts. Yeah. So the question is now, what will those people do? I mean, I think the one of the roles those people can play is to help
Building these agents.
building these agents, exactly, or building the agents themselves. Yeah, like
Because they have huge knowledge on
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
how to interact with the audience.
correct.
That experience can actually translate it with common English without knowing any language.
Correct.
And they can build their own identity on internet.
Correct.
And they can sell it off. They can make money out of it.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
good. That's good.
That's where that's why I'm like it's scary and positive in both ways. As long as people realize that this is gonna happen, and they start preparing themselves that I want to be the first underwriter or a mortgage broker who's working on a bank whose role gonna get impacted to spin up my own company, but using AI agents, right? And that's where the wealth is gonna be.
Do you
created.
think lawyers also gonna have some kind of lawyers? Like, I'm not saying just lawyers, service providers. Let's say the people with all these knowledge skill set, which is practically from a defined area. For example, lawyers have law books, right? And then who else?
Consulting companies, consulting companies are definitely gonna get impacted. Imagine you're running a consulting company with say 500 testers, and whose job is to run regression, right? Whose job is to just come into an office and execute, like, can I buy a stock, sell a stock, create a strategy. That every day they're doing the same thing. Uh, you don't even need people who are actually gonna automate that. It's completely the person who's doing repetitive tasks, your regression testing, the person who's actually automating those repetitive tasks. Both roles at this point of time are not relevant, because now you have an AI that can understand your transactions, what you want to do, and completely bypass the middle layer of automating, like writing a code, and can give you an outcome at the end. So imagine you're running a consulting company and you're not thinking about the future, you are not only putting your own business at money at risk, but also the career of the people
over there.
that you're responsible for.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's true.
And people are like in New Zealand is quite laid back. It's still slow. But if you see what's happening in the US, it's completely transformative. You know, Microsoft laid off like 6,000.
Yeah, I've seen that. I was gonna talk like even the lead for
AI, I was director of AI.
what's happening? Like it was funny to see.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was funny. There were a lot of what do you call memes were in the LinkedIn as well. I was like, that's so funny to see that. You know, people who build AI
Yeah.
losing jobs because of AI.
Yeah.
But it's all about adapting. I feel like we should not stick to one specific thing which you do for everything.
Correct. It's a big corporate versus startup. Now think about OpenAI is a group of like 100, 200 researchers. And what they have built has made the jobs of like 6,000 people in Microsoft almost irrelevant. You know, director of AI losing job because you're seeing, oh, these 200 people are giving me enough value to have this
kind of 6,000.
Yeah, but I don't need to have that practice, you know, within.
I think it's the structure have to be changed. The traditional structure for the organization have to be changed. And
yeah, exactly.
I've seen from last 3 years, organizations are trying to hybridize the knowledge or the capability of each worker. So let's say there is a one tester there before, right? Now the tester can be an agile coach as well.
Yeah.
Or a scrum master that runs agile ceremonies, you know. So it's now becoming like an hybrid work environment.
Yeah. You have to take more responsibility.
More responsibility, but it's not like you're taking more workload.
Yeah.
It's more about how you diversify knowledge.
Correct.
That's what I felt like.
Yeah, that's quite important. You're right. You're totally right.
Again, we are going back to the business side of it as you're an entrepreneur here.
Yeah.
In next 5 years, what are the some major opportunities that you see in the agentic space that anyone can make some money out of it?
Yeah. So I'm a big believer of focusing on the problems. I think like if people really want to start thinking about which businesses to build, I would highly recommend to go and look at the United Nations 17 sustainability goals. There are problems, global problems of poverty, unemployment, like pollution. So all those problems are there, and there is a massive opportunity in building solutions around that. For example, equality in education. So the kind of education we get in New Zealand is not the same kind of education that kids get in Africa, right? Now, think about if you're passionate about that problem, then using AI, all you need is like a small interface in which you can run open source model and send that device to all the schools in Africa, and then the kids could actually ask the same question they would be asked in New Zealand and getting the answers. You know what I mean?
Another product, right?
Yeah. It's another product. Like you'll see once you go close to the problems, your brain will start figuring out the solutions. And we actually have technology to build business to create wealth around those solutions and global wealth is not like a local wealth that you start a small company and selling to businesses around Auckland.
Yeah.
But you can actually make a really, really big change if you go close to the problems, right? So that's something I recommend. And agents are already there. So as I said, like the agents are there, they can do any web transaction. They can buy, sell stocks. They can create CRM record, or they can research an article and give you the information. People are concerned about problem, but they're saying, okay, I actually want to solve that problem. This is my life's work, right? That's where when people start realizing that, then we will be a completely different world. So I'm personally feel that people will be richer in the future.
Okay.
Than now. The wealth, there'll be more wealth. Yeah.
The people who are ready to accept the change and
Yeah, I mean, people who have accepted it, people who haven't accepted it, they'll be forced to accept the change.
Tomorrow you lost everything and you have to start over again with the knowledge.
Yeah.
You only have a laptop and an internet.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? How you're gonna build it? I mean, when I say build it, how you're gonna build yourself, your future? You only have access to laptop
and
internet.
Yeah, the first thing I'll do is to download the local LLMs on my laptop, just in case I lose money to even
An example,
pay money for internet as well.
Okay. Okay. So sweet.
Yeah.
You have a laptop.
You have a laptop. You install open source LLM into that, right? And in that open source LLM, because then you're not dependent upon OpenAI and paying any subscription, you can ask as many questions as you can. Then what you do is to and again, like if you're across some problems and you're seeing those problems are very prevalent in the community, then you build a solution, a very quick solution. It could be
Find a problem and
build a solution and go to the community and say, I build this, can you pay me $1 each for this, right? And then you start building the community around it and then start evolving your business. Yeah.
So find a problem,
build
a solution locally, whichever available thing which is free, and market it, and try to get profit out of it.
Try to get a profit out of it, then build on top of that.
Yes.
What you could also do is to do a lot of the ideas in parallel. You can run like say 100 ideas in
Like
parallel.
test runs.
I
test run your ideas. Test run your
So run like 100 experiments
and see
and time box those experiments for say 90 days.
Yeah.
So one experiment could be, I want to help all the restaurants around my area to give them a QR code. So when people come and they scan the QR and ask the restaurant to give you $10 for that QR code, right?
Yeah.
That's one idea for restaurant owners. Another could be a charity organizations to build their websites, because most of them are non-technical people, right?
Yeah. And Gen AI can build that.
Gen AI can build that. So take $10 from that, but do things at scale. Because everyone has their network, everyone is across people who are across different problems. So I would really suggest people to think in that direction. Yeah, think in the scale, because AI gives you scaling capabilities.
It's been an interesting session. Thank you, Yogi. I've been packed with a lot of information, knowledge, foreseeing the future, solutions for students, teachers, anyone who is wanted to learn something, leaders as well as entrepreneurs. You are really packed with a lot of information. Really appreciate for coming in and sharing your expertise and knowledge with our podcast and our audience. Do you have anything to tell to our audience?
I'd like to tell about this initiative I've been working on. Also, it's called seekersandadvisors.com.
Okay.
Yeah, so we didn't talk about that, but I just want to talk about that is what I've realized in my life. The 6 things are very important for having a really good life. Even like you're the beginner, like I'm when you have kids and stuff, things priorities change with time. So knowledge of tech that you're already aware of. So having good knowledge of where AI is going, what can be done. Knowledge of business. That once you like, how do you actually build a business from problem to actually execution, where people actually give you money. A knowledge of finance. So once you start making money, how much you should save, how much you invest, where should you invest that knowledge. Knowledge of climate change, sustainability. So if you keep like investing money or keep doing the stuff that's bad for environment, then it's not going to stay for long. So sustainability is a concern. Health. So if your mental health is not good, say you're doing all those good things, you're having a business, you're having a tech job, you're sorted with money, but you're not like healthy, then nothing better, right? So health is quite important. And the final one is academics. The reason about academic is you won't realize how important is maths and physics for the world. Like if you see all the LLMs, everything, the computer science being transformation is all because of the maths.
Yeah.
So imagine if we don't get our kids really good in maths, that it's an advantage that China is getting now, because the Chinese kids are really good in mathematics. We gotta be really good in maths and physics to be the leading AI country or community in the world. So these 6 things are quite important, and the Seekers and Advisors platform building, where I'm bringing the advisors for the 6 categories for my network and opening it to all the seekers.
Okay.
So that they can come in and chat with those advisors. And even else.
So you're getting direct access to all these experts.
Experts, experts for free, because they are my network, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So and the thing is, like, it's a very simple thought. How important these 6 things. But if any human can sort out these 6 things in life, 100, I can put all my money on this, that you're gonna have an amazing life. So cool. So that's a message I want to give to the audience. It doesn't matter you sign up on that, but these 6 things are very important. So pay attention.
I'm definitely going to put a link over there. So people can really access it, and they can reach out to people.
Yeah.
That's really amazing, man. Thank you for your time. It was really amazing. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thanks.
If today's episode sparked any ideas, share it with your friend. Drop your thoughts in the comments and hit that subscribe button. For more conversation like this, tune into nlsa Podcast. Signing off, this is your host, Anuvindh.